Good morning, good morning. Peace and blessings. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. Hope everybody's enjoying their day or, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you shall catch this message. Right before the weekend, it's Friday. But yeah, man, I got to talk about it. It has to be addressed. And as the title says, why Nicki Minaj's stand on Nigerian Christians sparked backlash. The hypocrisy no one wants to discuss. Yeah. So if you didn't know, first and foremost, let's start here. Nigeria. In Nigeria, there has been an ongoing genocide of Nigerian Christians being slaughtered by Islamic extremists. Genocide. And the president of the United States, Donald Trump, was reached out to by several people via video and Nigerian people, Nigerian Americans here in America that came from Nigeria. Several people have alerted the president that, they need some aid and assistance over there. And the president came out and said unequivocally to Nigeria, to the government and the leadership that, hey, basically, y'all need to stop the genocide, hundreds to thousands of black Christian Nigerians being slaughtered. Y'all need to stop that, or we're going to get involved. And we, meaning the military of the United States, is going to stop it if y'all don't stop it. You don't want us to come in there and stop the unaliving of innocent Christians. And when he did that, it got the attention of the Nigerian people on both sides, the government and the people that were being affected. A lot of them were thanking the president, and in particular, Nicki Minaj came out and took to social media thanking the president for taking a stance and actually, getting some results, because the people are getting themselves together because they don't want the military of the United States over there to get involved. And I think it had actually a positive effect. Now, when Nicki Minaj took to social media thanking the president, she got a lot of backlash, mainly from Black America. Hmm. Mainly from people who are Black that are most likely descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, who 9 times out of 10, they're people that came from Nigeria. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you be mad at President Trump, for one, for trying to intervene and stop the genocide of innocent people just for practicing their faith? And why would you be mad at Nicki Minaj for saluting the president for intervening in a situation like that? Black people that claim to be Christian. I don't get it. But the Trump derangement syndrome in Black America has to be addressed. You don't have to be a Trump supporter. You don't have to like Donald Trump to be against every single thing that he does. You know for a fact that that is wrong. It make no mistake, the Trump derangement syndrome, the TDS, had people out here, Black people, that were speaking up against the injustices that was going on in Palestine and Hamas with Israel. Now, you had black people that were speaking up, rightfully so, because that is a terrible situation that's happening over there. And now they're either quiet about what's happening in Nigeria, or they're mad that the president is trying to intervene, and mad at Nicki Minaj for giving a statement and stepping in to save lives in Nigeria, which many of them probably descend from, just because you hate Donald Trump. Now you got Nigerians that came out here that said, man, what's wrong with Black America? Why are y'all mad at the president? Y'all got Trump derangement syndrome that much that you are coming out against the president and Nicki Minaj. Now, Nicki Minaj took to social media, and the Trump administration reached out to Nicki Minaj and invited her to the White House. They were mad about that. What Nicki Minaj, now the criticism is Nicki Minaj, what kind of the music she made? Why would the White House want her to come and that's a joke. I'm just trying to understand Nicki Minaj's platform being a Black American. And I believe she's from Trinidad. So she probably, saw this situation. She might have traced her lineage back to Nigeria. Who knows? But she's obviously this touched her heart. So just because Nicki Minaj made music that was secular, that was people would say ratchet, just because she made that type of music, that's entertainment. That don't mean she can't speak out and and use her platform to be a voice for the voiceless. No pun intended. Because obviously those people that are being slaughtered in Nigeria didn't have a voice. Just because she made a certain type of music, she shouldn't be able to speak for people that are being slaughtered in Africa, Black people. You see the hypocrisy, but when it was Palestine, everybody was all for it. I would guarantee you, if Nick, just to be polar opposite to Donald Trump, if Nicki Minaj would have spoke up for Palestine, these same Black people wouldn't have nothing to say, because they thought Trump was against Palestine because they are Islamic. But check this out. Donald Trump stopped 8 wars so far since he's been in office across the planet. And one of those wars was Israel and Palestine. Now I know it's still like some disturbances going over there, but he did try to stop the war. And it's been successful. A lot of refugees on both sides, from Israel and Palestinian refugees, were released back to their families. And these same Black people didn't have nothing to say when the Palestinian war ended, due to the fact that Donald Trump intervened on both sides. They were whining and complaining about that. But just because it's Donald Trump, they got quiet. They didn't want to give him no praise, no thank you, no, man, I don't like Trump, but at least he did that. At least he trying to, create peace. At least he trying to save lives. What's wrong with y'all? Have you got Trump derangement syndrome so bad that you have compromised your humanity? And just because Nicki Minaj raps a certain tune don't mean she can't be a humanitarian. That's music. This is real life. People, children, women, men are being slaughtered on the planet. It don't matter what they race. It shouldn't matter what religion they are. It shouldn't matter what political party. Certain things everybody should be in favor for, especially if you're a Black American and they talking about saving lives in Africa, and you you got a problem with who speak. It shouldn't matter who speaks out. It shouldn't matter what president intervened. Everybody should be on board with saving lives. Everybody should be on board for that. Now, when Nicki Minaj met up with the Trump administration, and they saluted her for speaking out because she's been getting so much backlash and people have, I salute her myself for coming out and taking a stance, knowing the backlash she was going to get and still standing firm, going back and forth with people like, wait a minute, you mad at me for speaking up for Africans being slaughtered? Now, that gave way to her speaking in front of the United Nations, where she gave a short, articulate speech that was very well stated. She didn't mince words. She spoke very well. She dressed appropriately and addressed the United Nations on behalf of the Black Nigerian Christians that are being slaughtered. Everybody across the world saluted her, except for who? The same Black Americans over here in America. Why she up there speaking to the United Nations? What's she worried about? Who is Nicki Minaj? You see how our people do each other, man. Talk about canceling Nicki Minaj for doing the right thing, being a humanitarian for people that are being unjustly slaughtered in a genocide. Black Africans. They so pro-Black until Donald Trump is involved on the right side of history, trying to save lives. They want to cancel Nicki Minaj, not because she didn't come out and say, I'm a Trump supporter. She didn't come out here and say, uh, I'm Team MAGA. None of that. Even if she did, but she didn't. Y'all are just mad because it does put Donald Trump in a good light. Because if he was as racist, see, it doesn't fit your narrative when you see Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump on a court in any shape, form, or fashion. Any Black person that's in tune with Donald Trump, it doesn't fit your narrative. You so Trump the reign syndrome, you don't understand that lives are being saved due to the fact and awareness is being brought worldwide. Nicki Minaj is arguably the biggest female hip hop artist ever. She has a huge platform all across the planet, been toured all over the world. And make no mistake, if Donald Trump was racist, he would not be trying to save people in Africa lives. And make no mistake, Nicki Minaj is very well received by the Nigerian Christians. The only people that got a problem with it is Black Americans. We got to get our stuff together, man. We gotta stop with this political Ponzi scheme that's going on in Black America. Why Nicki Minaj stand on Nigerian Christians spark backlash is beyond me. When she spoke at the United Nations, people got mad because it's Nicki Minaj and the type of music that she made. But nobody had a problem when Kamala Harris was running for office, running for the president, her campaign to become the president. Nobody had a problem when she was campaigning and she had at her rallies, she had Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage in front of the world. Nicki Minaj didn't get in front of the United Nations and start twerking. She came up there dressed like a lady and spoke eloquently. But nobody had a problem with Kamala Harris, a black woman, paraded another black woman twerking in front of the world she was twerking for votes. Nobody said nothing about that. You know why? Because what it boiled down to is the Democratic Party. Because if I'm telling you, if Joe Biden would have intervened when he was president and Nicki Minaj thanked Joe Biden, you black people would be celebrating her. Y'all would be like, man, Nicki, I love you. But see, it's the Democratic plantation mindset in Black America that has you taking this stance on this whole situation, and you don't even realize it. Your humanity is compromised when you can't see the grift in this situation. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. But hey, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all long. I just wanted to come with this short message because how can you cap for Palestinians and not Black America? How can you cap for the Palestine people, which and not cap for Nigerians, when your family tree lineage probably goes back to Nigeria or somewhere in that region, when black Christians are being slaughtered just for their faith? The hypocrisy is unreal. Unbelievable, man. But hey, it's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. We love y'all. Until next time, we see you soon. Peace and blessings.